Dear participants, welcome to the fourth lesson of our training course. In the previous lessons, we built the foundation needed to understand European funding. First, we learned how European Union funding works, where the funds come from, how they reach different programs, and how organizations can receive support for their ideas. Then we explored the different types of European Union funding and saw that different mechanisms are designed for different objectives and activities. In the previous lesson, we became familiar with the main European funding programs and explored how to choose the most suitable program according to the organization's activities, objectives, and needs. In this lesson, we will take the next practical step. We will explore how funding opportunities are actually identified. This is the moment when an organization moves from an idea to action. The aim of this lesson is not only to show you where to search, but also how to recognize suitable opportunities and navigate the available information. Many organizations believe that the most difficult part is writing the project proposal. However, in reality, the first and most important challenge is finding the right opportunity. Time is often wasted searching for unsuitable programs or trying to adapt an idea to funding that is not intended for it. This leads to low efficiency and demotivation, especially among beginner organizations. The right approach is not to search for funding on a random basis, but to start from your own activities. This means first knowing what you want to achieve. Then you should look for opportunities that match your idea, rather than changing your idea to fit a program. This approach saves time and significantly increases the chances of success. Funding opportunities are published in different places depending on the program. In general, they can be divided into European portals and national sources. European portals provide information about centrally managed programs, while national websites publish calls for local programs. Understanding these sources is essential as it determines where you should look for information. One of the most important sources is the EU Funding and Tenders portal. It is the main platform for centrally managed programs such as CERV, Creative Europe, Erasmus+, Horizon Europe, and others. The portal publishes all open calls for proposals, eligibility and application requirements, and the necessary documents. For organizations seeking to work at European level, this is an essential platform to check regularly. For programs such as the European Social Fund Plus or national operational programs, information is published on national websites and platforms. This means that organizations should regularly monitor the websites of managing authorities and ministries. These sources are often more relevant to organizations operating at the local level. In addition to the general portals, each program has its own website where further information is published, including guidelines, training opportunities, and frequently asked questions. These websites are essential sources as they provide the most up-to-date and specific information on the application process. Overlooking them is a common mistake. The call for proposals is the main document setting out the conditions for funding. It explains what can be funded, who is eligible to apply, and under what conditions. It is the document that should be read most carefully before starting work on a project proposal. Many mistakes result from a failure to understand the call correctly. When reading a call for proposals, particular attention should be paid to several key elements: eligibility, activities, budget, and deadlines. These are the critical factors that determine whether a particular funding opportunity is suitable. The call should be read analytically rather than superficially. Eligibility is the first aspect that should be checked. This includes the type of organization, the country in which it is registered, and the activities it carries out. If the organization does not meet these requirements, there is no point in proceeding with the preparation of the project proposal. Many applicants waste time precisely because they skip the step of checking whether they are eligible. Next, check the eligible activities. Compare your project idea with what the call actually funds. Check the budget, the maximum grant amount, the co-financing requirements, and the eligible costs. And always check the application deadline. Preparing an application takes time, and once the deadline has passed, it is no longer possible to apply. After the initial assessment, Ask yourself the most important question: does the call for proposals align with your idea? Compare the objectives, eligible activities, and expected results with what you want to achieve. If you need to significantly change your idea, this is probably not the right funding opportunity. The next step is to determine whether your organization has the capacity to implement the project. Check whether partners are required and whether you can secure them. Make a realistic assessment of the team, time, and resources available to you. Before you begin preparing your application, carry out one final quick check. Are you eligible? Are the activities and budget suitable? Do you have the necessary capacity? And can you meet the deadline? If the answer to any key requirement is no, it is better to look for another funding opportunity. Also check whether the call requires a partnership. Some European programs require the participation of organizations from different countries. Therefore, determine from the outset how many partners are required and what types of organizations they should be. When selecting partners, check their experience and capacity. A strong partnership is built on reliability, clear communication, and mutual trust. Successful organizations do not apply randomly. They plan their participation in funding programs strategically. They decide when and under which programs to apply, as well as which partners to work with. This enables them to use their time and resources more effectively. A common mistake is focusing primarily on the size of the budget. Large budgets may seem attractive, but they often come with more demanding requirements. If an organization does not have the necessary capacity, this can lead to problems even after the project has been approved. Therefore, the budget should not be the main selection criterion. Once a suitable call for proposals has been selected, the organization is ready to move on to the next stage, preparing the project proposal. This involves more in-depth work on the application process, which will be covered in subsequent lessons. However, it is important to emphasize that effective preparation begins with making the right choice. In this lesson, we explored how to find and analyze European Union funding opportunities. We learned that success begins with selecting the right call for proposals, not with writing the project proposal. This knowledge provides the foundation for effective participation in all European funding programs. Remember, a successful project begins long before the writing process itself. The first important step is to find a funding opportunity that genuinely aligns with your idea, organization, and capacity. Do not try to change your idea simply to fit a particular call for proposals. Search, compare, and review the requirements carefully. Making the right choice from the outset saves time and effort and significantly increases your chances of success. In the next lesson, we will explore the Erasmus Plus program. Thank you for your attention.